Welcome and thanks for listening. And if this is your first time listening, a special thank you for checking us out. I'm David Brown, and I'm joined once again with Ryan Graham, and we have Tim Thurber joining us as well. Hey guys, how's it going tonight?
Good.
Great.
Yeah, it's a great time to. Oh yeah,
waiting.
Let's get started. It's a good day to be a Panther. A good week, a good time. Yeah. So obviously, the first thing we want to talk about is the Furman game. Didn't necessarily start off the way we wanted it to. It started off like our games in the past have started off.
Terrifying.
Especially the FCS games. The home openers have never been that great for us. So we got down. I mean, I don't want to tell you guys, already might listen to this. We got down 20-3. What were you feeling like at that time, Ryan?
Drunk. I don't know.
Yes, we'll get to the tailgate later on.
Yeah, I've been tailgating all day, so I felt pretty good, but also very frustrated that I was watching the same thing that I had seen time and time again.
Exactly.
But there was some good stuff in store for me. So
I had some friends come out that a friend of mine who went to Georgia State, never really got big into the sports, and then she got married, became good friends with her husband as well, and I got them to buy tickets to the Georgia Dome several years ago, and they had not been back since, never renewed their tickets. And they came to this game again. They asked to come. They wanted to come. And so I'm sitting there right next to them, and I'm like just hanging my head like, no, it's all over again. But yeah, it turned out pretty good, and they actually want to come back and get season tickets again for this season. So that's great.
I had 8 season tickets last year and 8 season tickets this year, and I think this is the first game in 2 years that I've gotten them all. Like I had people reaching out to me, and I had to turn people away.
Yeah, that's a great problem to have. Maybe one day you'll be able to actually sell them to other people instead of having to give them away.
That's true.
How about you, Tim? What was going on in your mind those first quarter and a half of the game?
Yeah, I felt like we were making some pretty bad mistakes. It kind of looked like sort of old Georgia State for a minute.
Exactly. Like it's what we're so accustomed to watching.
But I felt pretty good going into half with that stretch touchdown catch.
Yes. So we start off 20-3, and then we're just down 3 after scoring a touchdown to go into the half, and my mood changed. I was still nervous.
I felt a lot better.
But yeah, and so one of the things that Coach said in his post-game stuff was the kids came out differently for this game than they did for the Tennessee game. Tennessee, they came out calm, composed, ready to play. Yeah. And they got maybe a little too full of themselves over the week, and they were. He made some kind of comment about wristbands, or I don't know, wearing some different clothing or items or something like that. That he didn't approve of, first of all, and that maybe their mind just weren't right coming out there. But
so you get big win hangover, and I think that's what most of the fans were afraid of happening, and like it started to happen, and then where other seasons our team might not have gotten right. Something happened where they said, "Oh, wait, we got to figure this out."
Right. So this we talked about with the Tennessee game was, a typical Georgia State team would get down after a little lead and stay down and give up and fall back, but they fought back and
they pull a Tennessee.
They pull a Tennessee.
That's a good one.
I saw someone. I kind of wondered how long it'd take before Tennessee came up, and it wasn't too long. I saw. And now that we're on the subject, I do want to talk about one little joke I saw. I hadn't seen it anywhere else, but one person posted it, calling them the LOL-unteers, the LOL-unteers.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. But
Tim, did you go to Tennessee?
I did.
Yeah?
It was...
Right, we wanted to get Tim on last week. There was a scheduling conflict, so I wanted to get a perspective from somebody who had gone to Tennessee. So yeah, maybe we can take a little quick break and you can tell us a little bit about what that experience was like.
Yeah, sure. I know it wasn't as bad, I think, as your first experience was. Was that your experience, Ryan?
Oh, I had no fun in Tennessee.
Yeah. You had no fun.
I mean, I had plenty of fun in Tennessee, but they were kind of jerks.
Yeah, we didn't hit any of that this trip. So that was kind of fun. Hit some good restaurants, some good breweries before on Friday night, and then on Saturday we had a good tailgating group that went up. And obviously it was super hot outside, but the game itself, I don't know, I feel lucky to hit all of those moments at Georgia State.
Yeah.
I was at the Shot. I was at Georgia Southern when we beat them, and then I saw this. I didn't get to go to Wisconsin. I was in school at the time, but I couldn't get
what
there.
about the bowl? Were you at the bowl?
I went to the bowl.
Yeah. So
cool.
you
So I hit the major milestones, and for this game, it was, at the end of the second quarter, I felt like, okay, we have a good shot here.
Yeah.
This is real.
Right.
See how things come out in the second half.
That's great. It was obviously a monumental win. Jealous that you got to be there for not only that game, but for the other big wins. I was at the Shot. but that was my only claim. I listened to the Wisconsin game on the radio driving through Florida. I'm not sure if that's anywhere near close to being there.
That's pretty close.
I was giving a training in Indianapolis for the shot, and I was sort of like, as I was like giving my little lecture, I like had my phone. And I swear to God, I screamed out loud, and they're just like, what? And I was like, basketball. And they were like, oh, because people up there get it, right? The Midwest, they know basketball.
Right,
so,
right. All right, well, let's get back to the Furman win. That is the big news right now. So that team that you saw in Tennessee, the team that we all saw in Tennessee, did not back down. And that's the same thing that happened in this Furman game, is they didn't back down. They came out and they played harder. And I want to attribute a lot of that to Dan Ellington. The guy just seems like a natural-born leader.
I can't believe he didn't get Sun Belt Player of the Week.
Is there? You asked the question. Is there some rule preventing somebody from getting it back to back?
I mean, that guy got like 275 yards rushing or something. The guy who won it.
Yeah.
But I'm a homer, so
right.
So Dan should have won it.
Dan got 5 touchdowns.
Five touchdowns. And I mean, what was his percentage? It was like 80%, 85%.
29 for 35. I have written down here. I did not do the math.
Do the math, dude. Come on, now. His QB rating, I think they said was like a 92.
So well last time. Yeah. So they came back, like we all know, and scored. I think was it straight 28 unanswered points.
Something like that.
They scored to come back, and then still made it nervous at the end.
We like that. That's our thing.
Right. We apparently
we paid for tickets. All right, we got a show.
Exactly.
We did.
Well, yeah. And then what about the crowd? I mean, it was.
Yeah, we paid for their tickets too. So
you did apparently. You paid for everybody to go to the game. Yeah. Anybody that needs tickets to any future games, just hit up Ryan. He's paying for everybody.
Whoa.
At Ryan4GA on Twitter.
Yeah, Ryan for GA. Okay.
Right,
do that one. Hit that guy up.
At Graham for GA. So we started having a couple of drinks before the thing started. So. But yeah, attendance was great. A lot of students came out and stuck around.
Yeah.
I think that's the big shocker is when you're down, and I guess narrowing the score before the halftime maybe gave them a reason to stick around a little bit, but they stuck around. I guess it wasn't actually our largest attendance at Tennessee State.
I think it was like 20,300 or something.
20,351 I have written down here, but I think someone said...
I didn't write anything down, so...
Yeah, you don't bring notes.
You're welcome.
We figured that out. But yeah, so for Tennessee State, I didn't look it up, but someone I think posted on Panther Talk that they had 2,000 or 3,000 more, which really, I guess, seems reasonable. I thought it was a great showing. I liked it a lot. There was a lot of purple in the stands.
There was a lot of purple.
But...
I noticed up in my club seats there was a purple flag hanging from one of the suites, and I went up and I went around and I leaned into somebody wearing Georgia State blue in the suite, and I said, hey, I thought you couldn't notice that, but now that I'm here, you got something hanging there, and you just need to handle that. And they were like, there's nothing we can do about it. I'm like, well, there's always something you can do about it.
It was hanging outside of their suite?
Outside of the suite, so it was hanging over the wall, and I was just like, come on, man. Have a little, come on.
Who put it up?
Have a little respect.
Who put this thing up?
There were Furman fans in the suite, so they were just like, it's these guys, and I'm like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, couldn't do anything about it. I guess the Furman fans paid for the suite, probably.
Maybe.
Yeah. Well, I guess that was a bit of an issue on Panther Talk over the past couple of days, is allowing Furman to pay for suites and for the University or the Touchdown Club, whichever one it is that was rented out. I have no problem with that whatsoever at all.
Me neither.
I'll take anybody's money whatsoever at all.
We like money.
Yes. We don't have much. We'd
Right.
like some more.
Any money we
We don't
get.
have the fan base to fill those suites right now. I mean, and so...
Hey, and Furman fans in a suite is not Furman fans sitting on the field or on the seats down there, so you're not seeing them down there. And you don't have to hang out with them.
Yeah.
Which is great, because those guys are jerks. I don't know. I didn't talk to any Furman
They're
fans
probably
whatsoever
fine.
at all.
I didn't see any of them, but I guess they showed up in force. But
well, yeah,
I don't know where they were.
I saw them on the other side of the field, but I didn't see any walking through the corridors or whatnot when I was going there. But then, like you, I'd had a few drinks during tailgate, so I didn't make it actually out to my seats. I'm one of those bad fans. I didn't make it out until after the first touchdown. I saw the touchdown scored while I was in the concourse. I just made it in. But yeah, so I missed that. And I missed the whole opening ceremonies type thing, the parading of the players and all that kind of stuff. But I hear that. I watched the video. It looked pretty cool.
It was good.
A lot of celebrations from the Tennessee stuff and everything. So I guess another thing we can talk about, I mean, we talk about the game a lot more, but I'm just going through my little bullet points that I have here. This is not a big thing, but the black uniforms, what's your take on that combination?
I know the kids like it, so I don't have a problem with it.
Right.
I mean, I think I like our school colors better, but, I'm sure the kids had some kind of angle into getting those uniforms.
Well,
This game.
for basketball, black has been our
It's our
NCAA
go-to.
tournament.
It's our go-to.
Right, right. Football, I think that black is just a popular color amongst football players. Like, all the schools like it. Georgia didn't do it for like the longest time, and then when Rick surprised them with it, the kids like lost their minds, and black is one of their colors.
Yeah.
Right.
But I would have liked it, especially being the home opener, coming back from the big Tennessee win, sporting the blue and white would have been a lot better for me. But I'm not harping on it. It's not that big of a deal. The only issue that I would take is that when you typically see these blackout type games, and this wasn't advertised as a blackout, but they did advertise the uniforms as being all black, and then they, in very small print at the bottom, say, wear your blue. And so I was fully prepared to wear my black shirt, which I'm glad I didn't, because it was hot as can be outside. But that was a little confusing to want the fans to be in blue and the players not being the same color as the fans.
I can see that. Yeah.
I like all of the all solid, like all one color uniforms, but that blue helmet, I love that blue helmet, the like matte helmet,
yeah,
not
The
the
matte helmet.
It's
is
hot.
nice.
awesome.
I like the all white, and I also like the blue white. That helmet on
That
those.
helmet is
that
awesome.
all white. I've always liked the white the Braves and their white jerseys look so clean and crisp. I like it, but if the guys like it, if it helps them win games, they can wear whatever color they want to, as long as it's not anthracite.
I think that's gone, right? That left with Nike
That left with Trent Miles, I think.
and Trent Miles.
Yeah.
And the Panther script.
The Panthers, okay, all right, we're gonna talk about it because I was fine with the anthracite. The anthracite was actually fine, but that Panther script, oh my god.
So I like that Panther script,
What?
but Panther script for baseball. It looks like a baseball logo.
It is a baseball logo.
It looks like a baseball logo.
Yeah, you're right.
So that's
You're right.
fine. That's fine. That's fine.
I think the only thing I said, the Panther script, the only place you could put it in the stadium was on top of the scoreboard.
Yeah.
We used to say Braves and script.
That's just
That'd be kind of a cool throwback to the Braves and Turner Field. In a way.
I want a big Panther head up there. Panther head
All
everywhere.
right.
Panther head just
All
over.
over.
Yeah.
just on the steps, on the rails,
And
on
actually
the
a giant
seats,
statue
on
of
the
Gozer the Gozerian as well, like just like taking over the stadium would be
Maybe we can get
awesome.
a life-size Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, just like walking around the stadium. Okay, we're getting way off topic
Yeah.
here. For those that are still listening, thank you. We'll get back on topic. Another thing I thought was fun about it after the game was, I'm a big Falcons fan as well, so Sunday I get to go be disappointed by that team. But so I don't actually get on Panther Talk, and I don't read the game threads until like Monday morning or Monday like later in the day, and they're always like 10, 20 pages long.
Yeah, I'm
or something
impressed
like
you
that.
read them.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. I typically don't. I typically just kind of like go to the like last page or second to last page and catch the last few things. But this one I went through because I wanted to see what the emotions were like.
The roller coaster
Yeah.
that was that
Exactly.
game.
And I find it amusing. Like when I'm watching a game, I'm not, breaking down plays when I don't know what's going on, but I'm also not on my phone posting on Panther Talk.
Yeah.
And nothing against the guys of you that do that. I think it's awesome. It makes for a good read the next day or 2 days later. But it was fun going through. Oh no, we're back. It's happened again.
happening again.
So I was like, well, that's a nice play. Dan's could be something special. Wait a minute, we're looking good. I was like, that wasn't that bad of a first half, and it kind of just builds all up and everything. So it was a fun. I actually did go back and read all of them this time. Are you guys the in-game posters at all?
Not really.
No.
I don't do the mobile posting.
Right.
That's just not my thing. I have to be at a desktop or my laptop. Like I don't do the
Well, that's a
phone.
classic Panther Talk thread.
It is.
For an in-game thread.
Right.
Except, now we're actually winning, so it has
Right.
the swing.
If we finally get the whole back.
Usually
yeah.
it's just the downhill.
Exactly.
decline,
And just
which-
like fire everybody, fire that person, shut the program down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, who do we want to fire now? I don't want to fire anybody.
I'm sure we can fire somebody.
That's great.
Who we fire?
I don't know.
Do we have anybody?
Concessions?
Okay, yeah. Perfect lead in.
Nice.
It's like you knew I was talking about this. So that was still a problem, it sounds like. I did not go to the concession booth at all. I was sitting there watching the game, and people keep on bringing me a beer. So thank you to those that did that. But I did not get to experience it all. But I hear that we're still working on the concessions problem.
Yeah, well, I've never been one to complain about the concessions. Actually, they've always been pretty decent. And then this time, well, I brought my 3-year-old, and all she wanted was French fries. And I went and I was waiting in the line, and it was kind of a reasonable line. I mean, it's what you expect at a football game, But there was another register open, I think. But there was just a guy standing there talking to some friends, I guess, on the other side, and then I got about halfway through the line, and somebody just was like, "We're out of fries." I'm like, "You're out of what?" Like, you guys are selling nothing but just keep frying fries.
They spent all their money on the marketing budget to get
Yeah.
people there, none on the
Fries.
actual food budget
Just
to
keep
have.
frying fries. So I also ate some of my friends' fries, and they weren't nearly as good as last year. But that's not what I was going to complain about.
Right.
They were out of fries, and that's all my 3-year-old wanted. So I had to go back to my 3-year-old and tell her.
Yeah, and I guess we heard there was out of ketchup at some place, and they were out of other sauces, or there were other things that they were out of.
Yeah, I heard lower level concessions were better than in previous years.
Okay.
So that's a positive.
Yeah.
I never had a problem getting a beer at the club level, but I've never had a problem at the club level, period, with concessions overall.
Right. Are the Australian pies back?
No, they're gone.
They're
Totally
gone. They
gone.
were
I talked to
they
the
were only there
owner.
the first year, right?
Yeah, I talked to the owner. He just said that, especially on the club level, there's not enough people to generate enough sales.
They were
right
always
there.
dead.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody ate.
That's why I
People
got.
are
That's
scared
what I
of
would get,
Australian
because
meat
it was the
pies.
only place
It
to
wasn't
go.
bad.
It wasn't great.
It wasn't that.
It was.
not
I
impressed
went
by
there.
it.
I ate them when there was a giant line other places. I'd be like, oh, I'll get there. And then I found out last year that after the game, if you're after the fourth quarter, they were giving out everything that they had cooked extra.
Oh, really?
And so you could just get like free meat pies, and it was great.
That's
Yeah.
It's a bad business model.
I didn't find that out till like the last game of the last season. So
It's a unique food offering at a football game.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah. Well, but to your point about seeing the guy stand the cashier, this is not necessarily Georgia State related, but you see this in a lot of different places that you go, and I understand maybe that register wasn't working or it wasn't open, wasn't operable, and maybe those guys didn't have anything that they could do to help. Just go to the back.
Yeah,
Don't make me see
it. Was
it.
not
Or
clear.
make sodas. I don't know.
Anything. Just
Or beer.
don't let me see it. Don't give me a reason to not be
Make
upset
some
about
French
it.
fries.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Because I start peeling some potatoes.
Well, so I was at another register getting a beer at some point, and some woman walked up and asked if they had any forks, and she was like, no. And then I just thought, hey, well, do you know where any forks are? And she looked at me and was like, no, I have no idea.
Go fork
I'm
off.
like,
Pretty much.
yeah, you know where the
I think
forks
that's what she
are?
was
Like,
saying to you.
this is
yeah.
basic stuff,
Yeah, so the customer service part is lacking a little bit too. But I mean, I guess that's
It's a
typical.
trend in the service industry.
Yeah,
these days,
yeah, it
though,
happens.
honestly.
It happens. Did you guys get your 20% off of everything when you went to
did.
the?
think so.
Yeah,
that
worked
worked. That
pretty
worked
well.
I
fine.
think so, yeah.
Yeah,
Including beer.
Yeah, that's
Key component there.
exactly. You can buy 20% more beer now.
Mm-hmm.
What else about the game? It was the game itself. We'll get into tailgating and stuff like that later on, but. It was a win, right?
The horn?
The
We talk
horn.
about the train horn?
Oh, the
Yeah, I
horn.
thought I
My
put
kid
that in.
hated it. I loved it.
It's a little loud.
It's very loud.
It did make me
pretty
think
loud.
of Atlanta United, because doesn't United do a train horn?
They do.
Yeah.
Different pitch and tone, but they do have a train.
There's
horn.
probably more bodies there to absorb the sound than Mercedes-Benz.
Probably.
Yeah, well, so some people were calling it a MARTA horn, and I don't think it sounded like MARTA whatsoever
was not a MARTA
at all.
horn.
But that would be
MARTA's-
kind of cool
MARTA's
if they
more
did it.
faint.
But I mean, people want it to be MARTA, but what they don't understand or what they're not thinking of is that Atlanta is traditionally, it was Terminus,
Terminus,
right?
right.
It's where all the trains ended or
Right.
crisscrossed and came in. So it makes a lot of sense to have a train horn.
Oh, absolutely.
It's awesome.
Absolutely. Yeah, I've got no problem with that. I thought it was good. I mean, I was like, are we taking too much away from what United's already doing? But,
We should copy like everything from them, by the way. I mean, they have a fan section right behind like one of the goals,
section.
and they've got built-in drums. People are like drumming and stuff. I'm
Right.
sure lots of people on the podcast have been. I've only been to one game. I was just super impressed.
Right. Well, obviously they're. Well, you know what? They're doing something else that we're just figuring out how to do, which is win.
Yeah, that's
so,
true.
that
They are
that
pretty good
gets.
at that.
And then you look at the student section. There were a lot of fans that were jumping and hollering the entire
true.
game. So
Thoroughly impressed the students. I
Yeah,
think
very good, very good.
I was worried about it because obviously last year a little bit
Right.
of problems getting in the games, but they were there this year.
Well,
Mark,
it took
this
about
game-
halfway through the first quarter for everybody to kind of get in, and I
Right.
don't know if that had to do with tickets or just
Concessions.
Atlanta.
Had to
bit
get in there and get
I
everything
mean,
first. But yeah, it was.
Security, maybe.
I thought
a
people
little
maybe
bit.
just treated it like a 7 p.m. event, and then they were their general 30 minutes late to their 7 p.m. event, which
Right.
is
normal.
normal.
But yeah, so that part was great. I'm very excited. Hopefully they'll keep coming out. The marketing effort was good. I mean, we talked about it last week. The Athletics went through and did a whole lot of marketing for this game. I mean, Coach Elliott was bringing tickets to the coaches show. He was walking around campus with tickets. So hopefully we keep doing that. But we are going on 2 away games back to back, followed up by a bye week. So who knows what's going to happen in that time frame? We could be 2-2 coming back. We could be 4-0 coming back, and wouldn't that be something else? So, unless you guys got anything else about the game itself, I want to talk about tailgating, my favorite part of sports.
I mean, we were there
10 o'clock.
bright and early.
10
well,
o'clock.
you made it there before me. Like
yeah,
10?
yeah. Well, that's because you walked and
I
I
meandered.
drove.
Yeah.
We probably left the house at the same time.
That might be true. That might be true.
No, actually, I got stuck in traffic. I don't know what happened, but something on 20 literally had 20 shut down. Like people turning around on 20, going backwards to get on the exit to leave. So I mean, I'm assuming it was probably an accident. Hopefully, everybody's okay and whatnot. But when I bought the house here where I'm at now last year, one of the reasons we got where we did is be so close to Georgia State and Mercedes-Benz, and I'm like so excited that I can just hop on and be there in like 10 minutes. Nope.
You know, my buddy who lives up in, well, I don't know where he lives. He's like north of Alpharetta. He was leaving
Really
after
close
the
friends, I
game,
see.
and he, well, it doesn't matter. It's OTP, you know, so it's
Snob,
out in the middle of nowhere.
snob.
He lives in the boonies, but he took 20, I guess, maybe because there was traffic on the connector or something, and he said that it was all backed up. So I don't know. Maybe there was something.
Who
something
knows?
to
I mean,
it.
it's Atlanta. There's going to be traffic. It was just kind of ironic to me at the time. So, but yeah, so got there a little before 10. I mean, I'm talking about a couple of minutes. I was first to pull in. Immediately when I pull in, it looked awesome. I mean, the only thing we had there were the tents and the tables and the little fence dividers there in Victory Plaza on the bricks. And but it still just looked. I could see the potential we were going to have for that tailgate, and it was. It took a while for others to show up.
Yeah,
It was hot out there.
it was. I mean, even at 10:30, it was hot.
I think around, I think it was shortly before 12. I was asking you, what are the chances we get somebody here before 12 o'clock? And literally, I think 3 cars pulled up within 5 minutes of me saying
Parents, though.
Parents, and then that other group that was right there in the front space, which was
yeah.
good. It was
Yep.
good. What actually kind of led to one of the problems, and I guess maybe this is more unforeseen going into the first time, was you have that little loop to do your drop off, but then that's the front of the tents and they go all the way back. If you have people coming in there with a lot of stuff and you want them to come in there with a lot of stuff, they have a long walk with their coolers and their food and their drinks and their grills and their pizza ovens we had out there. I
I
think
missed the pizza.
Pizza's so
you
good.
did, well,
Oh, man.
as you know, I had a little minor family medical emergency. I had to bolt out of the tailgate for a couple hours, so I missed the pizza as well. But
So good.
It's so good. It's so good.
but it did save me from having to go buy pizza at Junior's for my tailgate, so that was a win right there.
Yeah.
But so I think that maybe if it's super early and there's no one there, like if it they don't actually close on Georgia Avenue until 2 o'clock. So maybe if you get there before 2 o'clock, maybe the cones aren't necessarily laid out completely, and you can drive right up to your spot and dump everything off and then turn around and go. But after 2 o'clock, you're just at the mercy of having to wheel everything out. Maybe they could do that better. I don't know. It's not that big of a deal.
It wasn't that bad.
But it was first time for everybody, and it was just kind of like, what do I do? And of course, there wasn't like a dedicated person there to say, this is how we're doing stuff. They had the security staff that were checking that kind of stuff, but
It worked.
Sure.
it was fine. It was good.
I did see someone drive all the way down to the end. So, I mean, they just flew through the cones.
Right, yeah.
Well, at some
people are
point
going to
they
do whatever
moved
they
the
want to
cones
do.
too.
Did they?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
just got rid of them all, and I didn't know what that was, but
When did they get rid of them?
it was maybe 2 or 3 hours before the game. They got rid of all of them.
so they're moving them because everybody that's going to be there is there.
Maybe.
And they
yeah.
want to make it easy for people to walk around and then go load your car back up with all your stuff.
Fair.
Maybe. I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah,
That's all a blurry haze to me.
Yeah. I was curious when I got there, just probably before 12:15, how many people would be there. I thought there would be a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
But then I knew it was also super hot outside.
It was 7
and
o'clock. It was
7 o'clock game. So
hard,
So hot.
out there, and tailgating has not been something that's gone over very well. But when I got back to the tailgate, it had to been closer to 5 or 6, maybe 5:30 or something like that.
A little hazy to me too.
And I'm basing it off of when the sitter
know
was
what time
supposed to be
things
here,
happen.
and then
I saw
I
you
called
come
her
back,
early.
though.
What's that?
I saw you come back for
I did
sure.
come back. Yeah. My stuff was out there. But, got back out there, and I was impressed. I was amazed. It was awesome. I mean,
Yep.
almost everybody that had a tent had it packed out with people hanging out, cheering, drinking, having a good time. So this is chalk one big, huge win up for athletics, in my opinion.
Well, and it was like a block party too. People weren't afraid to kind of bounce around tents and hang out with each other. It wasn't like we were all just like stuck in our tent and like afraid to go talk or anything like that.
Right.
Exactly.
So,
yeah, which is
it was great.
That's what it's supposed to be. And they had the cornhole boards out there. I saw people playing cornhole.
Yeah. People brought their own.
Music was playing, and some people had their own music. The stadium had their music playing.
Did you go eat at the pack thing at all?
No, the pack thing, I didn't get it. Actually, I wanted to ask you guys about too. Did you guys not do pack at all?
So my buddy went in there and got some food, and he said the slider was kind of not that good, but the barbecue chicken one was. So
Okay.
yeah, who knows?
And he got his 2 free drinks, hopefully.
We did not partake in the free. I brought a lot of PBR. I just
There,
drank
yeah,
my
you
PBR.
don't need anything else,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so the pack event, but it's cool because it's right there, so people going to that still see everything else is going on, and the ones that are in the
It got packed out. I mean, it was.
did
It
really?
was. Yeah, it was full.
Yeah,
but it's sort of just like off and like so we're tailgating over here, and then it's kind of over there. And I know it's it's pretty close in proximity, but it's far enough away to be kind of off.
Right.
know?
And we talked about this while we were there. There is a lot of extra space that's still out there, so the potential for this to grow is great.
That's true.
We have, you could probably get it, I'm at least in there 20 or 30 tents
Probably.
out there, which only makes it all better. And I like that it's open to everybody. You don't have to have a pass there to come hang out and go walk in and see what's going on. So I think that encourages a little more density. When I came back from having to be home, it was nice. I did see a lot of cars in the parking lots. It was packed out. I did not notice a lot of tailgating going on outside, but all hazy and everything. But yeah, I think this was pretty cool. One of the ideas that I had, and I'm talking about things to make this better because I always want to make tailgating better, is this was fantastic. And if they change nothing, it's still great.
Yep.
But maybe they have a premium package. So you get your tent space as part of your pack donation and all the other criteria, whatever it was that got us in there. But you pay an extra $500, $1,000 for the season or something like that. And they've got a cooler of beer waiting for you. They've got, maybe your own personal cornhole boards or a grill with, a cooler full of food for you to cook up, or someone there to cook it for you. I don't know. But I mean, I think there'd be a lot of people that want to tailgate that would be willing to pay even more money to have a VIP experience out there.
I know those people.
A TV, satellite dish, things like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I have friends that go to Auburn. It's a real business model. There's tailgater guys, I think it's called, and they will set up your tailgate for you. You just show up. They have food. They have beer, booze.
They do that, and I don't know.
The university should do it.
Yeah.
Anyone can do it.
Right.
Right? But
All right,
so far, Georgia State's doing half of
so
that.
we're going to do it then. So you guys send us your money.
All right.
And we'll give y'all some of our beer at the tailgate.
Perfect.
No, I think the tailgate guys or something like that, I saw that because at Home Depot backyard for Falcons, they do the same kind of thing. It's a friend of mine that did that. You pay them however much. And I have no idea what the price is. And they have the tailgate just ready for you. You just stroll up with nothing but your jersey on, and
you walk away when you're done.
And you walk away, you're done.
No cleanup.
Hands clean.
done.
Yeah.
And depending on how much that is, that could be like a good birthday present for somebody,
Yeah.
Yes.
Family at tailgate all the Georgia games and.
Right, yeah. I think it'd be a great little premium thing they can do. Maybe not this season because we've already got started, but there's something to consider for the next season.
I'm impressed they just did what they did this year.
It's fantastic.
I mean, that's a lot of work that they did all that setup and got it all arranged.
And they did it themselves.
And the tables.
The tables, and on that one wall that's by the trees and the grass, the far wall from the stadium, they had a generator out there and a few power plugs. I don't know if people know that.
People took advantage of it, though.
Oh, yeah, they did.
And it's not available for everybody. It's not going to be enough for every single person out there to have a TV. You're not going to be running cords throughout the entire lot. So really, it's only those tents that happen to be in the wall that can really take advantage of it. But yeah, let's, for another night game, let's get a TV out there and we can watch the early games, watch Lee Corso put on whatever stupid mask he's going to put on.
I was worried that it was going to be loud, but it wasn't.
But you're afraid of what?
That the generator was going to be really
Yeah,
loud.
because it was really close to where we were setting where our tents are and everything. So
I never noticed it.
Once the music was going and the chatter, everybody talking, it wasn't that bad. So, so tailgating, big success.
I hope for the next game that people show up earlier, since now our game time, I think, is what, 3:30?
Yeah, it's an earlier game.
So I'm hopeful.
But they're doing
8,
so
9,
the next game is not the traditional tailgate. They're doing like $25 and you get all you can eat and all you can drink.
You're talking about the pack event.
Yeah.
You're talking about Ryan. You're talking about the pack event. That's not the traditional thing.
Yeah.
Right. I think Tim was talking about just in general the people showing up to tailgate. Yeah. But you're both excellent points. The tailgating hopefully is a lot earlier. Weather should be better.
Should be cooler, yeah.
Hopefully.
I'm glad we're not not another home game in September.
Yeah.
Because holy God, it was hot.
It was.
While it's bad that there's multiple weeks in between, it's actually probably a good thing.
Yeah,
Let the cooler weather
right.
come in.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
It's a long time
Fingers
between
crossed.
games, but hopefully it's a little cooler. Yeah.
Right.
Global cooling.
Global
right?
cooling. Yeah. So we'll find out as we get closer, and I guess that gives us all 3 weeks to refine our own tailgating skills and figure out what we want to do.
I probably won't.
No, we
I'm pretty good at this. It's
Yeah.
fine.
but just for
You got
those
your PBR.
listening,
You're good.
That's right.
just for those that listening that are not familiar, the pack event for the homecoming game, which will be the next one home, is going to be for pay $25, but it includes, I believe, all you can drink and a food item.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's actually pretty cool, and
Yep.
it's in partnership with the Alumni Association. So that one should be probably pretty big. When they've done this in the past, it's been good.
Yep.
So that's cool. That's cool. I wrote this down here. I don't know if we don't want to get into it too much, but I was thinking about this actually driving over to the game on Saturday. So we beat Tennessee. We did succeed in beating Furman, and superstition is a big thing amongst sports fans. So what have you guys done differently these past 2 weeks that we will continue doing the rest of the season?
I wore the same shirt to the game.
You
I wore it
say-
at Tennessee. I'm going to wear it every week until it's no longer. lucky.
Have you washed it?
I did wash
Okay,
it.
okay. So it's not. Thank God.
Tennessee was a little hot. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ryan, you have
Well, I've been doing this podcast.
right. Right.
So that's one thing.
We're gonna take full credit for it.
Tuesday evenings, we're going to be recording this podcast
Exactly.
from here on out.
If we lose Saturday, do not look for this podcast on Wednesday.
Yeah, we'll be done. But no, my mother-in-law gave me a bookstore gift card for my birthday, and I used it to buy a shirt, a new polo, because I lost a bunch of weight and I needed a new polo, and a
Bragger.
hat. And well, I worked for it, so I'm not really bragging. But I've been wearing those to the games and during the games.
Yeah,
So,
where's that lucky hat tonight?
well, it's dark outside.
Well, you wore it last week. So.
Yeah.
And now the podcast goes to hell.
Well, we had exactly. We had a draft last week, you know,
we
and
did.
I had to get some mojo
Right.
from the hat.
Right. Yeah. So I haven't done
Speaking
it.
of which, I did win this week against the person who was projected to do the most.
Yeah, the guy that you were whining and crying. Oh no, I can't believe I'm playing Ben first.
Ben kills everybody every time.
Not you. Now with Albert Wilson on the roster.
That's right. That's right.
How many points
Albert.
did he have?
I picked Albert 1.5 in our league or something. Yeah, he got hurt in the first quarter.
I have him
he's-
on my team too.
Yeah, I took
was on the
him.
bench, though.
I picked him number 8, I think. Like
Yeah,
in
eighth
the first round.
8th overall in the draft.
I picked him up in the last few.
Yeah,
rounds.
yeah, 8th overall. Yeah, yeah. I was like, whatever. This is the Panther Talk League. Albert Wilson, here we go. I couldn't find Robert Davis for number 2, and I can't take a kicker number 2. But turns out I should have.
Right. I had Tim, just for fun. I told Ryan this last week, but a friend of mine asked me to fix his wife's draft after she drafted a kicker first overall in her draft. I told him after I reviewed the team, and I said, well, I'll tell you there's one thing that I'm not going to change. Your kicker. He's good.
I'll tell you what. I'm in 3 leagues this year,
Right.
right? And my other two leagues are for money. I win stuff at the end if I win, and I did not take Albert in the first round, and I lost both of those,
There
and
you
I
go.
won this
Well,
one where I
so
took
I-
Albert first. So new strategy.
I also am in 3 leagues, and the Panther Talk League was the only one that I was picked to lose, and it was the only one that I won.
Yeah. Nice.
So I guess Georgia State's doing me good right now. I
Yeah,
guess.
exactly.
But it sounds like we've all moved on from Furman, and we can close the door on that one. Let's talk about next week. Western Michigan, the Broncos. I'm not gonna lie. Until they got really good a couple years ago, I had no idea that was a team.
Yeah.
I thought it was like FCS or something like that.
Did they get really good? Is that a thing? Did they really get really good?
Well, was it Scott Brown? They had,
so.
they had a head coach that was good,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
and they were kind of Boise Stating, UCFing it a little bit, you know, not at a big of a scale. He got picked up by somebody, I'm sure, but yeah, they came out really big a couple years ago. We had them on the schedule. They beat the crap out of us last year.
We got to keep that PG rating.
Yeah, do you know where they are? Do you know where they're located?
Kalamazoo.
Kalamazoo, Michigan. The Michigan part was pretty obvious. So 7-6 last year, beat us 34-15 last year. Lost their bowl game to BYU, who beat Tennessee last week.
Fun fact.
Fun fact for those. How you guys feeling about this game?
I actually feel pretty good about it because I feel like Furman the first half was our punch in the mouth that we needed to bring us back to earth, and so that we can come back and play like we did against Tennessee. And on paper, we actually look pretty decent, right? I mean, our scores are pretty similar, and they're coming in real cocky. So
by similar, you mean they scored 48 points in their first game too?
Yeah, maybe.
Where's 38? Sorry,
All the stat lines I saw were actually very similar. The quarterbacks are very similar. I don't know if they're similar styles because I haven't watched them at all. But
that's not my cup of tea.
Yeah,
they're 1-1. They beat the Monmouth Hawks 48-13 in their first game, and then lost to Michigan State 51-17.
Yeah, but Michigan State is usually pretty good.
Oh, they're great.
So
Yeah, they're a fantastic.
I think
team.
they have a top 10 defense right now.
Yeah.
So
I'll believe you.
Yeah.
How about you, Tim? What do you think about
through
the
two
game?
games, whatever that means?
I'm cautiously optimistic with this one. I think even though ESPN doesn't give us a chance.
Oh yeah, what you're checking the.
I do have the match. It's 27.5% right now.
It's what?
27.5%.
That's better than it was when I posted.
I think it was better than you posted.
What's the point spread? Does it have that on there?
9.
Oh, it was 10. It was 10, so it's shifting.
The money's coming in.
That's okay. The money's
the powerhouse it is, Georgia State.
That's right.
Of Atlanta.
Look, gamblers know.
But if you are looking stat wise, I mean, the yards allowed were almost about even. It's like 12, 13 yards less than us. I mean, so I think what Ryan said. Tennessee was fantastic. We came out with Furman, maybe a little too flashy, and got hit in our mouths, and then we bounced back, and I think we could be calm, cool, and collected when we go into this game and just execute.
I can see it go either way. I can see us control a game. I can see us be not in control. I can see it be a close one. I can see us getting blown out. I mean, you've got to include getting blown out in every Georgia State prediction, right?
You do.
It's still on the table. It doesn't really
option.
matter who you're playing. It's on the table. So yeah, I don't know what to expect about the game. I'm looking forward to it.
I think the wild card to me is Dan. Was hurt in the last game.
Sure.
Or I don't even know if he was hurt in the Tennessee game, but
he probably was.
He had an injury and he had to come out of play because of it, and he's looked a little rocky when he was kneeling. Even
I heard he
was limping a little
victory
bit.
formation.
I heard it was a bruised leg or bruised foot or something like that. So
it was a bruised shin.
Shin. That's what it was.
They did.
I was
taking the last
meet the
game.
difference.
Yep.
Yeah.
He'll be ready though.
I think so. Something like that.
competitive.
You have him walk through most of the practices and give him a chance to stay off his feet and heal and everything. Yeah, I mean, there's no reason why we can't win this game, right?
I agree.
And so it's 7:00. It's up in Kalamazoo. I do know there is a group of people that are going. None of us are them.
I'd like to go.
You'd like to go.
I actually thought about it.
Some good
on
breweries
Monday.
up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's nowhere near Detroit, so that's
Didn't
a
even
good
look
thing.
at flights because I'm sure they're really expensive at this point.
Right. But so we are going to Ryan and I'll be watching. Hopefully Tim will be joining us after his more important United game.
And Georgia game.
Wait,
It's gonna be a
I thought the United
triple-header.
game was at 7.
I thought that, or is it?
United game is at 7. So my hope is Georgia State plays a slower first half because the United matches
You
are
want
2 hours.
6 overtimes.
That's it. It's 2 hours.
Oh
7
no,
to
so
9.
you're skipping the game, is what you're saying?
I'm
Get off the
skipping half
podcast,
the
dude.
game.
Get out of here.
Oh,
Get out of here, man.
Come on. I'm a
Yeah.
season ticket
You only
holder.
made it to every other important game
Yeah, so-
ever.
I'm a season ticket holder. I gotta go. Sorry.
Yeah. So we're watching it. Halfway Crooks is hosting us again for the watch party. It was fantastic for the Tennessee game, and the winning was only part of why it was so fantastic. Great beer, great space, great space
Awesome
to watch
space.
games. It's so fantastic.
Absolutely.
And I had messaged out to the event coordinator at the brewery on. It took too long. I waited until Sunday night. I should have done it before the week. But anyhow. And she didn't respond to me in timely enough for me, and so I call her on Monday afternoon, leave a voicemail, and then I got an email late last night. And the big question was, they do United watch parties. Now, granted, it's a home game, so most fans would be at the game. But she said that they are going to be giving precedence to Georgia State all season long over United. And I don't know how many more conflicts there may be. I didn't look it up. I'm going to assume that they conflict every game, and we're getting the precedence on all of them, because that just sounds better.
Well, and
Does
we
sound
really
better.
showed up for the Tennessee game. I felt like we took over that patio.
It was great.
So-
It was fantastic. I feel like I've been saying great and fantastic a lot.
It's fantastic.
I've noticed lately, and it's been on this podcast, I've said rad a lot, and it's a weird word.
Right.
So
Definitely was a weird word there.
You know, there was a point where I wanted to bring Rad back, and then I forgot about it. So that didn't work out too well for me. But yeah, so hopefully we get a good group there. I did create a Facebook event. You can go to the State of Atlanta Facebook page or the Panther Talk Facebook page and find the event there. Let us know if you're going to be there. We'd love to get a large crew out there to show them how appreciative we are that they are supporting us.
It's nice to take over the neighborhood a little bit too, to show the neighborhood that like
we're here.
Yeah,
we're part of this neighborhood.
Exactly.
It's our neighborhood.
It's our neighborhood.
It's our city.
Pretty much.
So that's one thing I noticed walking into the stadium. I didn't mention this earlier, but there's a giant American flag that Carter puts up in one of the properties, and it was replaced with a Georgia State flag. Now, last season they did that for the first like 2 home games, and then when things got a little southbound for us,
they didn't want to be associated with this any
the American
longer.
flag came back up, right? I noticed the last couple games it was the American flag again. I don't know what the deal was, but this time I noticed it was the Georgia State flag again.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I feel like with all the development, they'll put that up.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully there's not. We talked about it on the first podcast, but there's not a lot of Georgia State signage throughout the Summer Hill spaces. Hopefully that'll change. I dropped a flag off at Halfway Crooks last time. I don't know if it's been put up or if it's going to be put up, but they have it. So
I do also have a shirt that is from Rep Your Hood. I promise they're not a sponsor. I was told not to do that, but I did it anyway. So I'm a couple beers. I'm a couple
he's
beers
a rebel.
in now.
He's a rebel.
Couple beers in now. But in the bottom, like the bottom left corner of my shirt, there's a little panther head, and then there's the staggered GSU, which is a little older.
Oh yeah, the stair step.
It's like up and down, you know? Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Stair step.
Yeah. No, it's up and down, not the stair step.
Oh, I think I know what
It's
you're
the one that's like G, and then the S is upward, and then the U is down below again.
Oh.
Okay. It's a little weird, but then it's got the panther
it's
head
a
on
misprint.
it. But it's on my shirt, and I was like, this is when I first moved into the neighborhood before we even had Georgia State Stadium that I bought that. So,
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, so it is a night game. There's a lot of football going on beforehand. What do you guys? Tim, I know what you're doing. You're going to the UGA game.
Yep.
And then it's they have an early game, right? They're like at noon.
Arkansas State.
Oh, so you're just gonna go be rooting against Sunbelt opponent, huh?
Yeah. It won't be a long game.
Big question. Big question has to be answered. What color shirt will you be wearing?
Wait, Arkansas State's red.
So is Georgia. That's
Yeah, I know.
I'm trying to find out if he's wearing Georgia State crap or not.
I don't know. I'm not sure yet.
Yeah.
No, he's
got
positive.
United too.
He's wearing red.
I'm gonna wear a Georgia State shirt, but I'm gonna wear a Georgia hat.
Yeah,
maybe we'll see.
He's a liar. He's wearing Georgia all
Yeah,
top to
Or
bottom.
just United.
I have. There you go.
Nah, you won't do that. Not in Athens.
You never know.
I grew up in Athens. I grew up going to those tailgates.
And so
You're not
that
wearing
dictates what you're going to wear.
I've seen him
You're
up
not
in
wearing-
Athens randomly at a tailgate.
Did you?
Yeah.
I
You're drunk.
I had talking about the crisscross of the logos they're wearing and whatnot. I had this coworker of mine. She went to Georgia State, huge Tennessee fan, like Tennessee Tervis glass she drinks out of every day, whatnot. And she came in telling me that I should have been wearing a Georgia State polo when I wasn't wearing one the other day. I mean, I don't have to wear a Georgia State polo to work every day. I mean,
You could.
I've been doing it a lot lately.
I
But
say, don't you?
I'm like, so she wore Tennessee earrings. Sorry, what? Tennessee earrings and a Georgia State like shirt to the Tennessee game, and because she was scared of those Tennessee fans. I'm like,
They're
whatever.
not that scary.
No. Actually, from response I've heard
jerks.
from other people is they were actually quite pleasant and invited them in for like barbecue and stuff.
Even after the game?
after the game, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Some of them
anyhow,
maybe weren't so nice.
We humbled them.
yeah, exactly. It's Southern hospitality, good hillbilly hospitality over there.
were really
You just
excited,
whip them
though.
good enough, you know?
So you have a full day, Georgia United, and then
half for
hopefully
Crooks,
Georgia State.
Second half for Georgia State.
Yeah, I'm going to be very curious to how you're standing when you show up to Halfway Crooks.
Got to plan ahead and be very, very cognizant of put on.
Yeah, because you got to drive back from Athens.
Yeah.
That's
And
gonna be
I need to have United gear and Georgia State gear to change into. It's a
Everything.
lot of work.
That's why you go Georgia State the entire way.
Yeah. Could skip all of it. We'll see.
How about you, Ryan? Are you going to have any fun, or are you going to be a dad all day long?
Well, hopefully I have fun being a dad all day long. But
Okay,
I don't have.
those two are not mutually exclusive. You can have fun and be a dad, but there's a different kind of fun.
Yeah, that's true. I don't have any big plans. I guess I will probably watch the Georgia game on my television, but that's about it. I don't even know if I'll do that because I'm not that interested in watching them play Arkansas State.
No.
Yeah, I don't think many Georgia fans are either.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I started to watch a little bit of the Murray State game after I had recorded it, and so I started watching it the next day, and I was just, when the Falcons were down, and then I was like, well, wait, I'm not going to replace terrible football with terrible football because this is just terrible football all around.
Sure. Right.
I'll just go do something else.
Yeah, I've got I'll be having dad fun. I've got a kid's birthday party to go to during the day.
Nice.
Who has a kid during football season? What were they thinking?
I mean, so I'm super impressed with me. All day Saturday.
Great to least somebody is.
My wife went hiking, and I had Izzy all day at the tailgate, and I dealt with that, and
You dealt with that.
You did a fantastic job.
She had a blast.
She did. And you were responsible, and you went back, and you took her to a nap.
She had a nap time.
You didn't cry or whine or complain at all about having to leave the tailgate.
Not one bit.
Exactly.
Not one bit, and she didn't either.
No, she was an
And she
angel.
came back okay, and it was all good.
Yeah, it was good.
Thanks.
Good.
Shout out to my neighbors for taking her at a little bit after halftime back home.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. That was great, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully see everybody out there. It will be great and fantastic. So...
So you can sell us a little harder on that.
No,
did you read that?
No, because I was complaining about saying great and fantastic earlier.
Okay.
You missed the joke.
Yeah.
You missed the joke. I mean, it wasn't a good joke.
Do you have great and fantastic like bolded and like?
That's
well, you know what?
It's like your header.
I was looking for a name for this podcast when I uploaded it. Looks like we found it.
Instead of State of Atlanta, we're great and fantastic.
Exactly. Well, no, the podcast name. I mean, like the episode name. All right.
Oh yeah.
So
It's a good name. I like it.
There you go. Great and fantastic. Exclamation points on both. So other games that happened last week in our conference. Coastal beat Kansas.
It's impressive.
I mean, they beat a P5.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, but is
P5.
Kansas any good? I don't know.
Yeah, that's kind of
They're
been
probably lower than Tennessee.
the general consensus is they're technically P5.
They're good at
But
basketball.
they are good at basketball.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's good. That's good for them. It was a low scoring game.
12-7.
Yeah, I forgot to put it down here, but yeah, 12-7. So it wasn't like it was a epic beatdown like we put on Tennessee. But yeah, good for them. That's awesome. The first P5 victory in their history as well. On
our schedule as well, so we gotta get through that.
And it's there, I believe. It's in Myrtle Beach.
It is in Myrtle Beach.
I can maybe talk my family into going to that one.
When
Myrtle Beach.
I was none too thrilled about them moving up, but I told my wife at the time, I was like, it's kind of an excuse to hit the beach during football season, or at least the coast. Maybe not hit the beach itself.
There's no beach at Conway.
But it's
you'd
Myrtle
stay,
Beach, isn't
It's
it?
not far,
but you
though.
would stay in Myrtle Beach.
Yeah, you wouldn't stay in Conway.
You could do a
Have you been up
weekend.
there?
I have. Yeah.
You went to a game when we
I
played?
didn't go to a game, but I drove by the stadium. I go on a family trip, and so I was curious where it was when they joined the conference,
Gotcha.
and
And
So a
so,
little detour.
did a little detour. It's actually right along the road. Like,
was
right
it you
into-
last
right
week,
into Myrtle
Ryan?
Beach.
Was it you last week that said that you like the teal field, or was that Joey that said
No,
that?
Joey said that.
Okay, what is your take on it, Tim?
I'll pass.
Yeah. Oh, come on. This could be our running thing. We take a tally every week to see.
They're
what
cheaters, is what I think.
They're cheaters
Already?
because their coach
They
is a
wear
billionaire.
they wear teal, and then they play on a teal field.
field.
Oh,
So
you can't see them.
They're
We're all
cheaters.
They're
blind.
nearly
They're
invisible.
cheaters.
They're nearly invisible. Yeah. So good for them.
I don't really believe that, but that's what people make fun of. What Eastern Washington has a red field, Boise has the blue field.
I've been there.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. I gotta
Yeah,
say.
I've seen the pictures.
Which
of
one?
Boise.
Boise.
Oh.
So
And it's pretty out there.
The
too.
Eastern Washington one, the red is pretty rad.
That is pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I like the idea. I like being different and unique and having something that stands out. But man, it's a lot. It's hard to watch those games.
I mean, teal is kind of like dead grass, right? It's like dead.
But it looks more like rave grass. Like it's like had gone to the rave the night before. It's full of remnants of ecstasy or something. I don't know. I'm stretching really hard right now. So Coastal beat Kansas. Good for them.
It kind of reminds me of Carolina Panthers, just off color.
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
So
Boo.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's see. Looking at the other teams in the conference, App State beat Charlotte in a big shootout, bigger than ours, 56-41.
Fans aren't happy.
Charlotte.
App State fans aren't happy.
I read that somewhere. They're not happy about their performance.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm sure they're very happy about their offensive
Probably 'cause the
performance.
41.
That's the 41. They're probably meant to have. And Charlotte's not great, right?
I think last year they weren't very good. I don't know a lot about them this year.
Yeah, they moved up after us, just after us,
Yeah.
I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They beat us at home the first time we played them.
And then we beat them up there.
I was on the field, and we got I think it was a kickoff, and then you were on the field.
Oh, yeah, that's
too.
right.
And then, we
why-
fumbled the ball.
Why were we on the field?
I don't know, but I
Right,
never
right.
stepped foot back on that field
Yeah,
ever again.
We there was something we walked out on the field for. Oh, maybe it was
It was just a pack thing, I
Go through the
think.
wrong
Yeah.
gate.
No, we
no,
yeah.
no, it was
Where are we?
sanctioned thing. No, we actually dressed for that game.
Yeah.
So App won. I mean, they're supposedly the best in our conference.
That's what they say.
But they gave up 56 is great. 41's
We
not.
lost our number one vote in the power rankings.
We'll get to
by
power
the way.
rankings. Actually,
We're
we'll
not
get to
there
power
yet.
rankings
They're
now.
not there.
Okay.
And Southern won. Don't like talking about them whatsoever at all. They squeaked by a win over Maine. I say squeaked by. I didn't watch the game.
A higher ranked FCS team than the one that we beat.
I saw a headline that said Southern did not look consistent in their win over Maine. Okay, whatever. Okay, that's enough for that. And I don't know why I put this on my notes.
I can't believe you said the school's name.
Yeah,
You gotta edit that out.
well, take it out.
Yeah.
Maybe that
Just
we'll
bleep.
bleep out
Put a bleep in
anytime
there.
it's
Yeah,
on
that
there.
would be-
All right, we took the time at 50:55 is when I said that name.
That'd be hilarious.
Uh,
I can't wait.
I don't know. I put this on here, but I noted that Army lost. We have Army on the schedule. I didn't even put who they lost to, but they lost to Michigan, right, or something like that. They lost to
Yes.
Michigan. Yeah. So they're okay.
I watched some of that game when while Izzy was taking her nap, and it was not good football.
Okay.
Yep,
Yeah.
not good football
we're gonna
all
watch
around.
that.
I have a hard time watching any schools that are not in the general region of the South, and not because the SEC is the best or whatnot, but just I guess I know more people that went to schools in the SEC and ACC and stuff. So when you have the Michigans of the world, which obviously is an incredibly storied program, and Army is Army, I still have a hard time just even getting into those games. And don't get me started on the West Coast games.
Yeah.
I just have no interest whatsoever at all.
I turned it on because Army's one of our future opponents. I wanted to see him play a little bit, and then
Sure.
Michigan. My grandpa went to Michigan, and he's not a fan at all. But I try to be for some reason, so I watched.
There you go. Well, good for
Again,
you.
terrible football.
I've been on Panther Talk, pointed out a tweet by Scott, who's now writing for Panther Talk. Just want to make sure I give credit to everybody. That looking at out of conference performance so far, Sunbelt has an 11-8 record out of conference, whereas MAC is doing a .435 and CUSA at .423. We're nearly 58% wins.
How's the AAC looking?
I didn't. That was
Not
not.
sure.
That was not in the tweet.
So they're better.
Take-
than
take-
us.
take-
So they're better than us.
They're P6,
Take it
right?
up with Scott. Don't take it up with me. I'm just repeating what was tweeted.
P6.
So,
P6.
Tweeted.
So are we happy about our conference?
No, I mean,
That's for another episode entirely.
Sorry, that's episode 8.
I probably said this in one of the other
bye
ones,
week.
but
What is the bye week episode?
There you go. Bye week
The
episode.
funniest comment I saw was after the Tennessee win was Georgia State saw that AAC opening.
Exactly.
Gotta
Yeah.
start winning.
That's right.
Winning cures all, right? All right, so you mentioned power rankings. Let's talk power rankings and what utter garbage these voters are and how horrible of human beings they must be. Their parents must be ashamed of them.
Okay.
I think the 247, 24, I don't know why I did the numbers like that. The 24/7 power rankings, I think they even say at the bottom, or maybe it's the underdog. Let us know how evil we are and how bad we are. So
That's probably the underdog
yeah,
one.
Yeah, so
Because underdog traditionally they are a bunch of Georgia Southern people.
Yeah,
there's
You gotta bleep that out.
Damn it, you said it again.
Yeah.
Guys, we're not
53,
supposed to say
31.
bad words. Stop
exactly.
saying bad words.
This is family friendly
Yeah.
marked.
Oh God, Apple's gonna take us off. This is terrible.
So 24/7 App State, Troy, Arkansas State, those who shall not be named, Georgia State. That's number 5. That's 2 teams ahead of us with a loss, and 1 team ahead of us that only has 1 game, 1 win. And it's Troy that has the 1 win. They had a bye week 2. I'll give you App State and Troy as first and second, absolutely. But this early in the season, how do you put any team that's lost ahead of a team that has no losses?
Yeah.
It's gotta be tough.
And then those pieces of garbage over there at Underdog, 6th place they have us. 6th place.
Yeah.
And that's down 1.
That's
we
down
win a
1.
game and we're down 1. They have
We like ball out winning a game.
Right.
Right? I mean like the first
If
quarter
you don't
and a
get
half,
the first quarter, we destroyed them.
we destroyed them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's all about the last 45 minutes is all that really matters.
That's right. That's what I always say.
I think they wrote that we struggled against Furman.
We struggle. I get it. I get that. But I mean, and we're
That school that not should be named.
We struggled for a quarter.
Yeah.
And then we stopped.
Right. Then we were like, okay, we got to start winning.
Yeah, whoops.
Right. So
Right, we're better.
It's power rankings. No disrespect to the guys at 24/7, but all the disrespect to the guys at Underdog. And I only say that because I like Ben and Scott seems like he's an alright guy. But yeah, I mean it's obviously just bias. That's and me thinking we should be higher is obviously bias as well. But at least I have somewhat of an argument. They have Underdog has that team third. They're the third best.
I told
team.
you they're all the writers there. So
Yeah, and I've seen that they've asked to get writers from the other universities, but they just don't have a lot of interest. I'm not gonna do it. I can't write words. So
I used to write for 24/7.
yeah, I remember reading all of that article you read.
What?
I don't know. I probably didn't read it. It was
I
about
read a bunch of them.
It was about recruiting. I don't read that crap anyways. So.
Yeah, it was boring stuff.
It's not fun. Like this
There
guy,
were people that were into it.
Here are 4 pages about a guy that will probably not be coming to our program.
Oh.
No, you never wrote anything that long. You don't know that many words.
I will say that one of the best highlights of while I was doing that was during the recruitment of Shannon Sullivan, who is right now on an NFL team, came out and found me during spring game and asked around for me and made sure to shake my hand while he was being recruited. I was like, man, this is highlight right here.
There you go, man. Living the dream.
This is it.
That's a moment.
I touched greatness.
That's a moment.
There you did.
He's on an NFL team still, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Eagles?
Is it Eagles?
I think it's the Eagles.
I don't know. I think I had it on my notes for the last episode, but I don't have it on now.
Sorry. I might have told the story
So
before.
now here is the topic that I did not expect for us to be discussing, at least not in week 2. But there are some journalists or analysts or whatever they call themselves out there that are doing their bowl predictions. And we are in the mix. So we have
all of them.
three different that I came across, and by came across that someone posted on the thread on Panther Talk. We're going to take all content from Panther Talk and just talk about it, basically. That's what this podcast will basically be. And
Stay tuned next week where we just read threads.
And then Steele and GT says... So ESPN, they have us predicted for either Cure Bowl once again versus Houston, which would not be horrible. I like that. Or in the Arizona Bowl, or Nova Home Loans Arizona Bowl versus Fresno State, which would be cool. But that's Arizona, not easy.
A bit of a tougher trip.
One item of note out of the ESPN predictions is that only 2 universities from the state of Georgia made the list. No Tech and no included. Brett McMurphy has us in the Dollar General Bowl versus Eastern Michigan in Mobile.
So we play West and East.
Exactly. We're going to cover
That's
the entire
basically
state.
Michigan.
Effectively, right?
Or Michigan State.
And Michigan State because they're in the same state.
Yep.
Yeah. So this is funny. This bowl must be so awesome that, well, I don't know what the punchline of this joke is. They don't even know the date of the bowl yet. It says December 2019.
Oh. That's the which one? Dollar General?
Dollar General Mobile. I guess
Mobile?
you got to find out when that USA Stadium is available during December to be able to do the game. That one, the only thing good there is Mobile's not a long drive, so it's doable for the most part. Funny enough, Brett McMurphy also only has 2 schools from Georgia going, no Tech and no those guys. Okay. USA Today, Cure Bowl versus Navy.
That could be
That's an
interesting.
interesting matchup.
That'd be
for
all
sure.
service academies we would have played because we already did Air Force and we're doing Army this year and Army like 2 more times, and then Navy. Also of note from USA Today, no Tech and no that school. That is what my big takeaway from these predictions are. The team that is number 3 in the Underdog Dynasty power rankings, not making a bowl game. I guess they're losing
By any of the actual relevant journalists.
Yeah, sure. We'll go with that. Yeah. Relevant, sure. I'm sure they
Oh,
found.
sorry. People that are paid.
Right, exactly.
Brett McMurphy makes a living off of this. A good one.
Right.
Right? The people from Underdog, probably not.
Probably not so much. Yeah. They may have their AdSense turned off because they're from that school. Anyhow, I mean, it's kind of funny. It's awesome to be noted. Obviously, this
It's nice to be in discussion, right?
yeah, we talked about
That's 2 weeks in. It's still early, but
we have no idea.
You don't know what's going to happen.
We have no idea what's going to happen, and I mean, Cure Bowl. If we make it to a bowl, makes the most sense, and that'd be great. Whoever we play, it'd be fun. I'd probably try to make it. I did look when we played Cure Bowl the first year was the year that I went to all of the Falcons games, home and away.
Wow.
Except for preseason, because
It's impressive.
who cares about that? But it just so worked out. There's no way I would have made it to that game, the bowl game that is, except for the fact that the Falcons played at the Jaguars the very next day. So we had our hotel. We went to the Cure Bowl. Disappointing loss, but got in the morning, drove to Jacksonville, watched that game. So I looked to see. I'm like, oh, that's during NFL season. When I mean, not that I'm going to a lot of Falcons away games, but I do have home tickets. Yeah. The very next day, we played Jacksonville Jaguars in Atlanta.
Funny.
I think it would have been a great little repeat, but
Yeah.
it's a bit ironic, I guess, that we're playing them the exact same time. So
Well, so the Western Kentucky game, I got to go to that one because Athletics actually provided buses for anyone that showed up at like 2 a.m. or something stupid to commute all the way down there. But they let us bring a cooler on, so I did. We were like 2 hours out. I had tailgate going on. And
Bathrooms?
Yeah, there were bathrooms
Okay.
on board, and then
That'd be a problem.
there was plenty of space. Like I had my own row,
Oh,
so
wow.
like nap time was fine.
yeah, we've done a few of those buses. I say the university's done a few of those buses. I've only been on one of them. Did you go on that one to the Auburn game, that basketball game?
No.
Okay, yeah,
So it was an Auburn basketball game.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And that's fun. That's awesome.
was great.
It's great. I mean,
was great.
I wish they would do that more. We need to play more, close rival or
Yeah.
other teams and everything. Sure. But I thought that was really, really cool.
If they did it if we were in New Orleans, Birmingham, Mobile, or Orlando, I think we would probably do that.
Anything like 6 hours or less.
Yeah, and I would do. Arizona is the one that's like the it'd be way out there.
Yeah,
and
that one you're
that would be a tough one.
Yeah, it'd be. I mean, you would definitely have a large group of fans that would go, but it would not be anything close to what it'd be in Mobile.
Yeah.
For any other.
Yeah, I don't know.
Even that other place.
So
I won't name that place.
Yeah, we're going to bleep out New Orleans as well.
Just for you.
I'm down with that. Let's do it. All right. So bowl predictions. Hopefully we make a bowl. We'll see how it goes. We've gone a little long already, but you know what? I think third time's a charm. Let's go for the longest one we can so far.
Oh boy! All right.
So,
sorry guys.
I don't want to talk a lot about this because I think there'll be more to talk about.
I guess I'll get another beer too.
All right.
Later on.
I'm gonna do one more.
But some news did come out. Finalized today, the new convocation center where Georgia State basketball will play. Money's been finalized. We know what's happening. It's for certain happening. We don't have any designs or renderings yet, but they did say rectangular in shape, which is such a strange shape for a building. How dare they use a rectangle?
Well, the footprint of the space that it's going into is not rectangular, so maybe they felt like they had to say it.
I guess so. Well, it's kind of
there's like a curve at the north side.
Yeah. But it's wider
highway.
than it is taller or whatever. And then it said block glass design. So is that just like glass walls, glass panels? Is that, I don't know what that means.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Outside will be glass.
I'm excited to see what it looks like.
It's a great location.
Fantastic location. I think those renderings we saw that came out a while ago, over a year ago now, really sold the whole thing. Really sold it. But who knows what it's going to look like.
Yeah.
We'll find out soon. 7,500 seats.
That's a lot of
How many seats do we have now? Do you know?
50, 45?
It's just
45 seats?
no, it's like
4,500
or 45 seats?
I thought it was under 4,000. I thought it was like 3,500 or something like that.
Okay, so we're like doubling up.
Yeah. Well, see, what I don't know is, so this convocation center, it's not used for just basketball. It's going to be for graduations and for other events, concerts and what have you. So there's going to be times where there's seats on what would be the court.
Oh yeah.
So that's adding more seats, but then you take away from whatever stage system you got. So I don't know. So I don't know if 7,500 is the configuration for basketball or if it's a different configuration. But regardless, we're going up in seats.
Yep.
3,854 to 7,500.
Okay.
I was
That's a
right.
big increase.
I was right.
Yeah.
I said under 4,000.
Yeah, so we're
Yeah.
doubling up.
I know more about Georgia State
More
than
than doubling
anybody, even
Nice.
Ben and Dave Cohen.
You're a liar.
Let's not go that far.
Can you bleep that out too?
What time are we at?
Probably should leave a lot more out. 120,000 square feet. I have no idea. Like, I can't visualize what that size means. But
Probably look nice though, because it'll all be brand new.
yeah, so I'm pretty sure everybody that pays attention to a podcast like Mount Georgia State knows where this location is. But just for those that may not, it's the old Driver Services trailer space just north of Georgia State Stadium,
We all know we've been there.
across
I've been
from
there.
the Ramada
Hotel,
yeah.
hotel, which hospitality should
We have
buy.
not all been there.
No.
That's a
Not been
I
there?
I have been there.
Oh, really?
I walked in drunk from a Braves game, acting like I had a room, and saying, "Will you please call me a cab?" Yeah, the guy didn't buy it at all. But
They call you a cab anyway?
I said, "You're a cab."
Ah.
So I guess
good bit.
the one little item of note was the price went up from the construction cost went up from $79 million to $85. A cost that's gonna be separated between the
buy you?
university and athletics.
What do you think?
I'm not worried about it. I mean, people talk about money and how
It's like glass wall.
yeah, well, glass build costs a lot more. I think was when the Peachtree Plaza or the whatever the building's called, the one that has the sundial on the top of it and everything, when that got damaged through the tornado that came through like 10 years ago or something.
Remember that?
Multiple tornadoes.
Right, so it knocked
Yeah.
out several panes of
Yeah.
the windows, and they were thick, like a foot thick. I'm making that
It
number
was like
up.
bucktooth for years.
Yeah, and so they kind of removed those panes, and now there's like certain sections that just have like the janky. Rumor had it was the company that had built the windows or that had lost or went out of business.
They went out
so they
of
don't have
business,
the particular recipe for that stain of glass or whatever. So they said it would cost more money if they were to re-glass or re-window the entire building. Would cost more money than tearing the whole thing down and building a new building, because glass construction is so expensive.
Yeah.
So I'm just wondering if maybe this block glass design is why it went up by another $6 million.
I think we'll know more once we see. We should have pictures of the design. At
I'm
some
assuming
point.
so. The
Hopefully soon.
news of the finalization of everything came out later this afternoon or early this afternoon. So maybe Charlie is waiting for a specific time to strike. With some information, maybe if we lose against Western Michigan Monday,
Like,
look at our new basketball arena.
Hopefully, if we win, we get it too.
Well, hopefully we get it regardless. So yeah, that's all I want to say about that, because we'll talk more about it when the renderings come out. So unless there's something specific you guys want to say,
Just cool. It's in my neighborhood, and that
Yeah.
we're all gonna be close by. And I think we joked about it, where like I don't buy my season tickets for basketball anymore, and I probably still won't, but I'll go to more games.
That flex plan, right?
But I'll go to more games.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Well, maybe somebody that you give your football tickets to will give you a ticket to a basketball game.
Maybe.
I don't know who that is.
Maybe.
So,
I really like the athletic campus they're building. I think it's gonna be great once they do all the pieces of it.
oh, you did the whole thing around there. Yeah.
I mean, it's
oh,
football stadium, baseball, and then convocation center at the top of it.
Yeah.
Along with soccer being moved
and
to the old practice
eventually
facility.
an indoor practice facility
Somewhere.
and get softball and getting track and field and all that kind of stuff down there, cross country, whatever sports we have. I think the plan is everything
All
but
sports out of Panthersville.
golf,
Which is East Lake, right?
which is
It's East Lake.
the Bobby Jones.
Bobby Jones.
Bobby Jones.
Wasn't it East Lake before? Is that not the same place?
No,
I don't know.
it's, and then soccer going into the 188 MLK, the old football stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't know if tennis was going to stay at Piedmont Park or not.
I don't think it is.
Okay.
Yeah, I
I'm
think it's
not sure
somewhere
about
else
that.
now. I'm not sure where it is.
Yeah. But that's great. That's awesome. I look forward to that.
I'm really excited about the baseball still. Just
Baseball
being
will be
able to like knock over for going to the park, right? You go to the baseball park.
Absolutely. I've never
Yes.
been to a baseball game, and I foresee me going to a lot of them when it's over there. So hopefully it is going to get developed shortly after basketball. All right. Another little item I want to talk about, and there's one or two last things. Did you guys get the email from Charlie Cobb about the state of the Panthers?
I did.
Did you read it?
I did.
All right.
That was
Can
a
you give me
long
the
email.
TLDR? Because I do not.
You did not
read
read.
those.
So
It was the longest one ever, I think.
It was long and it was good. I mean, I read all of them,
I know if there's anything interesting, people will post about it in Panther Talk,
and we'll talk about it here.
and so I'll read it. I don't need to read the whole thing.
No, I read. Well, yeah. Kirby messaged me and he's like, "You got to read this thing." I'm like, "All right, I'm in the middle of doing it right now. A couple of things in there. I think there was a little bit of a jab at a former coach for Georgia State.
I agree. It was there.
He says that one of the reasons he hired Coach Rob Lanier was his "it's not about me" attitude towards coaching and developing a team. It's about the team itself. I mean, in quotes, it's not about me. I thought that was really telling.
There was another
That was
comment
definitely there.
on Panther Talk from somebody a little bit more in the know. Somebody had mentioned seeing a previous coach, if we played in New Orleans, showing up in all blue, and they said, yeah, that's probably not going to happen.
It's Coach Hunter we're talking about.
Yeah.
Surprise.
I didn't want to be the one. You guys seemed like you were doing a thing.
No, I mean that is one thing that just really stood out to me when he's like, talking about the new basketball coach and saying it's not about me. And I mean, I think we all loved Coach Hunter's time here and
Absolutely.
everything.
Yeah.
None of us are happy with the way that things went down.
Nope.
No.
From either side, mostly one. But I guess he's letting his feelings be known to those that are paying attention.
He was a personality for sure. I mean, is personality.
Yeah.
He's not good.
And he
So
will
he is.
and he will likely
Right?
do very good things for Tulane.
Yep.
Which is very, very disappointing.
Hasn't he already taken some recruits from us?
Did he?
I'm pretty sure he's already won a couple of recruits, but I mean, he's a great recruiter. That's the thing, because he has got such a personality.
Absolutely. Then there was a weird thing. He wanted people to just to show the kind of support that the kind of reach that this distribution list was. He wanted to have people buy tickets to the Furman game using the ticket promo code Charlie, and I don't think there was actually any discount. I think it was literally just a show. I'm like, but this
Reach. Yeah.
Yeah, but this reaches people that have season tickets
Already.
So I don't know where he was going with that one.
When you bought extra tickets, did you put Charlie in?
I didn't buy extra tickets.
Oh, okay.
I didn't either. No.
So
right.
I mean, I use it like you. I have 8. I don't need to buy any extra
Yeah.
tickets. So I thought that was interesting. Then he said, he wants his goal is 25,000 consistently in football. That's
a great goal.
That's where
Good goal.
that's where we should
That's
be.
the right
Yep.
goal.
That's exactly right. We are almost there. We only missed it by like 20% Furman game. See, I did math on that one.
Home
We did
opener
do
is
that.
is tough to call on that though,
Right.
because we always do well on our home opener. Always.
Because everyone gets their hopes up
Yep.
so much.
We do.
He also said another thing that I thought was really, really awesome. This is I think I quoted this line exactly. And Ryan, if you're done playing your video game on your phone,
turn the
I
phone
know that we're that boring right now. I wanted to get your take on this.
Damn, just call me out. I'll leave
Slightly.
that out.
To appropriately capitalize and partner with true peer institutions, we must be ready versus plan to be ready.
Nice.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Pretty direct.
Yeah.
Seems like maybe he heard there was an open slot.
Someone might have told
In the
him.
AAC.
Someone might have told him, "Hey, did you know there's an open spot available coming soon?"
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so obviously we all believe, and it's true, that our peer institutions are those in the American Athletic Conference. These are urban universities. These are research universities. These are not regional agricultural schools, which we seem to be surrounded by in our conference currently. And to put it out there like that, I liked it. He talks about it a lot more. Go back and read it, Ryan. It's a good read. But and what I liked about it, what I really from the beginning to the end, what I liked about it is if you did not know Georgia State history whatsoever at all, it sounds like he's been the AD from the very beginning. It sounds like from day one of football, and not that he's taking credit or anything like that, but it just reads like, he doesn't say, previous administrations were having to deal with this,
Right.
or opportunities arose that other people made. It just reads like someone who is AD of the university, has been AD of the for this entire time. And I think Charlie gets a lot of grief from people saying that he's looking for his next job or whatnot, and he may be. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it reads like somebody who is committed to the university right now, and that meant a lot to me. I liked it. I liked it a lot. So
It was a good read. It was long. It was a good read.
It was
If
long.
you don't want to read the whole thing,
No,
Ryan,
I'll read it now, guys.
right.
Come on.
The last 3 paragraphs. You want to
Fine.
read
No, I'll
the,
just read the whole thing. It's
Yeah.
the
fine.
juice about the
Yeah.
other conference. We could.
I like hearing about us reconfiguring. I would like to leave, and I know that Dave disagrees with me here, but I would like to play that other school even if we leave the
will.
conference. I would
We
like
will.
to
I
play
think we
them
will.
every single year.
We will.
I don't know if it's a good every single year, but maybe.
I would like to. I mean, it's a good rivalry.
Yeah,
we,
I mean,
we
we-
appreciate that win that much more, and we will be that much better than them. They want us win most of the time. It'll be like a Georgia Tech thing, right? We're like Georgia Tech is like, yeah, but Paul Johnson won 3 times out of 10, you know, and like that's impressive,
Yes,
and
exactly.
and that's what they'll say about us, right?
Right.
They'll be like, oh man,
We will. I mean,
won
there-
like
there's
1 or
there's-
2
there-
times.
there's no way that we would not. I mean, it would take a few years to get it started again because how far out you plan schedules. But then again, we have we don't have AAC teams on our schedule. We have CSA team
I think so.
on our schedule. But yes, it would take a few years to actually get to that point. But yeah, we'll play them. I don't know how we got on this topic. That was pointless. All right, that's for the most part what I had for us today. Obviously, I want to talk about just really briefly go over the other sports that are not football right now. We had some wins and losses in volleyball, women's soccer, men's soccer. It looks like men's soccer is 3-0-1.
Nice.
So that's good. That's impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Women's soccer is 3-2-1. They've played a few extra games that the guys have and didn't do as well. But yeah, still it's a good showing. Hey, they're positive, right? Volleyball 3-3. And other thing is, so that's what's happened since last podcast. Coming up, all those plus golf is starting. Volleyball versus Alabama, which means they're coming here. We got UGA coming here for the women's soccer. So some games coming up.
I don't have anything.
No, and there's not much to be said. I just wanted to go and toss it out there and acknowledge that we are paying attention to these other sports as well and look forward to good seasons for them. So unless there's anything else you guys want to talk about tonight,
I'm good.
all right, I want to
I'm
thank
good.
everybody for listening once again. This has been a lot of fun for us. I am David Brown at David P. Brown on Twitter. Ryan is at Graham4GA on Twitter, and Tim thinks that his Twitter handle is at TimberGA.
Yes, it is.
So thanks again, everybody. Have a great week. Please come out to Halfway Crooks and watch the Georgia State Western Michigan game with us, and go Panthers.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Hey guys, thanks for listening. I wanted to also mention, check us out on Twitter at State of Atlanta. And if you do subscribe to us on iTunes or any of the services, please rate us if you like us. And if you don't, don't. Thank you.